2, 1. We are live. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Adventures, the show where we adventure in Star Trek. We have 3 of our 5 cast members with us today, and bear with me. So, guys, I thought we'd start with a bit of a jokey animation because it's been a while since anyone saw these from the Question of Trek show that stopped. So, if we do this, and then we'll start the show. Here we go.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the USS Robinson. Our mission is to explore the continuum, seek out strange new people, but not as strange as us, of course.
That just broke. It just stopped playing. So
maybe Conti filed a copyright strike.
It just completely stopped. Oh well, right. We'll have to just play some other way. Captain Dowd is here. Oh, Commander Dowd today. Yes. We'll have to just play some other way. Oh dear, I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm going to apologise. There's a lot of echo. I've got a bit of a cold, so I apologise. I think it's Captain Dowd. Hi, Captain Dowd. How you doing?
Is Captain Dowd got the stream playing as well?
I think it's Captain Dowd. Hi, Captain Dowd.
Hello.
Hi.
Captain Dowd.
There's a lot of reverb, as if it's echoing through. Do you have a second window open with the show? There's a lot of. Is it okay now? Oh, we've all done it, man. We've all done it.
However, not quite so consistently. I think that is entirely my fault. I guess because I open YouTube to find you, and then when I join, I forget to close the YouTube window that I had opened. So I am so sorry.
We've all done it. I wouldn't worry about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do know that.
I'll try to do it less.
We do know that T'Pau, I think, Krista playing T'Pau will be a little late tonight due to family stuff. But I believe last time we were all together with When Shall We Three Meet Again? There's 5 of us. When shall we 5 meet again? It's been a bit of a time, but we were going
3
to
weeks.
Space Nine. 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks sounds about right. We were going to Deep Space Nine to.
So did it take us 3 weeks to get there?
Yes. Yes, it did, because we were swimming.
Someone left the emergency brake on.
Was our ship only going to warp 2?
Warp? What's that?
Okay, before we beam on to DS9, there's an important task that needs to be done.
You are not nuking Deep Space Nine.
No. Ensign Tabby, please go to my office and bring me the 2 briefcases of latinum that are on my desk, please. And while you're there, you can replicate yourself some catnip.
Well, I can get your briefcases. I'll go and fetch them now. Would you like a cup of tea when I'm gone?
No, thank you. I don't drink tea.
Ah, I'll get you some coffee in that case. And a biscuit?
I don't drink coffee either.
Oh dear. Well, I'll just get the briefcases then.
Oh, dear.
I always thought it'd be brilliant just to transport a random item of furniture or something into the station commanders. Wherever you go, become known for it. So you arrive at a station and all of a sudden in their ready room, just a fridge appears or something even more.
Well, thank you, Tabby. Ensign Tabby.
That would actually be quite cool. So we've come to check your security. We got a fridge in. Are you okay, Captain Dad?
I was just going to do a bit of show and tell, whilst we're waiting for our medical person.
Okay.
A friend of mine, I found a 3D printable piece for the Sutherland class, which is what the new Milton is. And she paints as a sideline. She paints like Warhammer figures and things like that. So she turned her hand to making the Milton and painting it up for us. So I'm really chuffed with it. I think it's great.
That is so cool.
And my hero quest game is still missing.
Oh man.
And she made two.
Hang on. I'm trying to get you up on screen.
Oh,
There
that's
it is.
all right.
There we go. There we go.
She made two so that my friend who created Milton, it was his idea actually to have this ship and the name. He can have one too the next time we get together. So yeah, she had, because the model itself wasn't super detailed. So much of this is paint, but I'm just really happy with it.
That is amazing.
How could they butcher a perfectly good Nebula class?
The engine, I forgot what we called it, the Watney cell brackets. It's actually quite close to the Kyushu class, isn't it? It looks the way that they're sort of swept back like that. Quite nice. That's 3D printed.
It is. Yes, it is. There was I don't know how I came across it because I'm not very bright about this sort of thing, but somebody had posted STL or SLT, whatever the kind
STLs,
of file
yeah.
it is, posted them on the interwebs, and I found it. And my friend, I said, "Be careful! Don't open this. It could be just a tin of viruses for all I know." She said, "No, it's real." And so yeah, it took her a little while, but yeah, I'm really happy with it because Star Trek Online stopped doing their commissions because they were doing these kinds of things for people. And then they stopped doing it, and then a lot of people were kind of caught in that limbo of will mine be made or not made, and yeah, there's a whole Facebook group about it.
Wow.
I can't nuke anything because I haven't got any nukes.
Is that what the Latinum's for? To buy some?
No, it's the gamble of quarks with.
Wasn't the last time they used nukes? Wasn't that the Romulan Federation War? That was used them,
yeah.
What I get from Quark I left over was from that.
Balance of Terror. I think they mentioned it in that episode. Yeah. And they did all their diplomacy via radio.
And since T'Pol isn't around to stop me, Commander Dowd, lock onto the changeling that's in that shuttle and beam it into the wormhole.
No, I think we probably have a good reason.
He might be spaghettified if we were to do that.
The changeling is still in the force field.
Well, at least I'm not beaming it into the sun.
So I did try to watch. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of the last time stream, so I'm out of date.
Okay, well,
we found out some secrets on DS9.
So
we were pursuing Lena, weren't we?
Yes, we're still pursuing Lena von Ryan, who is the xenobiologist that was disgraced and has been out and about doing stuff. But she wasn't on the station. She'd commissioned a passage on, I want to say Lamarian, but I can't remember what it is. No, it can't be Lamarian because that was High Lamara was where we were. Lesepian. She commissioned transport on a Lesepian ship heading toward somewhere else. Where was she going? I can't remember off the top of my the Aurelius star. She was going to was she?
The Aurelius system, he said.
Yeah, the Aurelius system. Yes, she was going to the Aurelius system. But we've also found some very interesting information about the changeling itself. It appears to be infected with a virus. But although it looks like the kind of gene sequencing that the Federation did during the Federation Dominion War, it's using base sequences that are like ours, but aren't ours.
Oh.
That's pretty much what we got from last time. So we're heading to Deep Space Nine because that is where the Federation ship that was supposed to be going to an archaeology dig, but disappeared, would have last been spotted because that was its last stop before it went to wherever it was going. Also,
archaeological dig sponsored by Captain Picard or Admiral Picard, as it would be now.
It may have been sponsored by the Admiral. Yes, he has been there, but also, Deep Space Nine is a centre of excellence, shall we say, for the study of changelings due to Dr. Bashir.
They might also have a nice cafe with tea and cake.
Well, I demand that when we board the S9, we arrest Dr. Bashir.
Why are we arresting Dr. Bashir?
Yes, arrest Dr. Bashir and subject him to the mind probe to find out what he knows about this virus.
We might just ask him. That may be another thing you could do.
Should also point out it was an Aberth class ship that was destroyed. It's one of the inexhaustive list of Aberth class vessels that the Federation has been destroyed.
That one's no big loss.
Yes, the Oberth class, the one that explodes to show the situation is minor.
The range shots of the fleet vessels.
You do not keep trying to persuade Admiral Picard to persuade the fleet commander to retire those Oberths and replace them with the Novas.
Surely something has to explode.
If we,
but John Luke tells me that they still have to get their money's worth out of it. The Oberth.
You see, the Oberth is there for a very specific reason. The Federation has an overpopulation problem. So if we stuff all the Oberths with minor annoying people and then just blow them up, then we get rid of the old ships and the extra population.
Now, I have a question that's mildly on topic. Is it significant that Isambard is wearing a red shirt?
It is not. No, he's safe. This is Next Generation. He's command.
Well, red shirts on Next Generation still got killed.
Not as often as the yellow shirts.
So just to get up to date, T'Pau and I have rejoined the mothership, as it were, and brought the poorly changeling aboard.
T'Pau's still in her shuttlecraft, just so I won't nuke it.
For security reasons, you guys are actually still in the shuttle. The changeling is in a level 10 force field on the shuttle, and you're transporting it on the shuttle rather than the ship so that it can't get away and infect the ship.
So we're following.
Yeah. T'Pau decided you two are staying on the shuttle with the changeling, so I won't nuke it.
She seems a very wise person in many ways. So are we boarding the large space station to speak to the various doctors that we need to speak to?
Well, that's the question, because when we finished last time, we were almost at Deep Space Nine. So I thought, the decision is yours.
Well, shall we beam down?
Ensign Tabby, open heading frequencies of operations, and pass my reports to Major Kira.
Communications.
Demoted.
Colonel Kira now.
Yeah. Well, someone regards to Colonel Kira and ask her permission to board the station for an investigation into changelings.
This is Colonel Kira of Deep Space Nine. I can't do the accent. This is Colonel Kira of Deep Space Nine. Did you say you have a changeling on board?
Yes, we have a changeling prisoner on our shuttlecraft contained in a level 10 force field. It appears to be contaminated with some virus, but our investigations have led to people of interest to Deep Space Nine. We request permission to board to investigate these persons while our personnel on the shuttlecraft talk to Dr. Bashir, assuming he's not on the holodeck recreating the Battle of the Alamo or the Battle of Britain.
You have a disease changeling, and you wish to board the station.
No, we don't want to bring the changeling on board. That's going to remain on the shuttle.
But it's not Odo. We're pretty sure it's not Odo.
Very well. Proceed to docking bay 3.
And we are proceeding with.
There is a bit of audio.
But we would like you to place extra security guard at the airlock.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I said we have taken the strongest security precautions, but we would request you post some security guards with the sweeping phaser rifles at the airlock, just in case, please.
Okay, Patrick, is your microphone or speaker quite high volume?
No.
So, I don't know who's there's echo somewhere. Is it me? I'm going to mute myself. Actually, I can't. Can one of you talk while I mute myself and see if it's my computer?
Any echo now?
Hello.
Nothing now.
So do you think it's me?
There was still echo, I think, when Patrick was talking. We've got Patrick muted. Zoe, can you try talking in to see if there's any echo?
If you notice this notice, you will notice this notice is not worth noticing.
Hello.
Zoe, try again.
Okay, trying again. Whatever's happened, it seems okay now.
Maybe Miller. Miller's muted and it's not echoing.
Who knows? Okay. Oh. Ah.
Is it happening now?
If I go really loud, does that help?
It's Miller, I think. Miller, if you can check and see whether you've got your YouTube open or check your microphone settings. I think you're the source of the echo by the looks of the elimination test, because it went away when you muted.
Right, I've got the Real Tech Array on. What should I have on?
Give me a second. If you go to the little dots next to your microphone muting button, it'll have edit microphone settings, and see if echo cancellation or microphone volume are like off and things like that.
I haven't got that. I've got stop mic cam. I've got edit avatar, edit name and headline, and remove from stage. But if I go into settings and go to, I've got echo cancellation is on.
Okay.
Reduce mic background noise. Try that.
Yeah, let's try that. Test. It's not as bad. Oh, hello there, little cat.
It's not one of Tabby's issue.
Cat is very cute.
Oh, she is,
Nice.
and she knows it. She's already escaped twice today.
Oh dear, naughty Melody.
Well, that's when I tell Vicky that she's her cat.
Yeah, my parents used to be like that. Your child has been doing this. You knew you'd messed up then.
But whenever Melody's been naughty, I tell Vicky, I say, your cat.
Nice little cat.
So,
if we solve the echo, maybe we can make some progress in talking to imaginary people.
make some progress on a Star Trek Adventures thing.
Have you met us?
Apparently so, yes.
Well, I think we've just boarded DS9.
Well, you can proceed to docking if you want to board. That's cool.
Yep. Do we need to roll anything?
No. I think we can say for sure that we're able to dock at Deep Space Nine, just so we don't have the possibility of accidentally crashing into a major part of Star Trek.
It's at this point we take out one of the upper pylons, isn't it?
Well, it depends on how drunk Ensign Tabby is on catnip.
I stayed off the catnip for the time being, so I need to talk to people coherently rather than rolling around on the floor and purring.
Shall the shuttle just maintain a discreet distance?
As long, keep us in transporter range, though.
That
Well,
sounds like a plan.
I'll run
Find the
that.
cafeteria first of all.
Right. So,
Well, at least I had a sensible conversation with Kira.
well, we haven't blown anything up yet, so that's a good start. So the question is, what are we going to be doing now that we're here?
We need to speak to the medical personnel on board, but I think we also wanted to ascertain the course and flight plan and some other information from, I forgot the name of the vessel, Zoe, but the Abeth class research vessel. We find out what that was.
Ganymede, I think.
Sorry?
I think it was Ganymede.
Yeah, that's that. I'll go with that because I can't remember the name of it either.
Yeah, Ganymede F.
Okay, we'll go with that. I, for some reason, I can't find it in my notes. I think it may have been something that I made up on the spot because it was a side thing, and then I haven't got my notes with me to find out.
Well, could we invite whoever the CMO is to board the shuttle and conduct some scans with some specialized equipment? I'm sure he's... Will this be the cast we normally know? I mean, not Cisco. He's still falling probably, but...
Well, as far as I know, Dr. Bashir never was still on DS9 after the show finished. It was just
Dr.
Worf and
Bashir,
Keeper, Brian and Odo who left.
Yep. Odo's gone, Cisco's gone, Worf's gone, O'Brien's gone, but Bashir, Dax, and Kira are still there, and so is Quark.
Okay.
So, Dr. Bashir beams onto the shuttle. Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
You lost your chance of becoming an EMH, and don't think we don't know why.
Yes, but
Commander Dowd, subject him to a blood screening first, just to be sure.
We're doing blood screenings again. My goodness, I thought the war was over.
Just to be sure, since we're messing around with the changelings, we never know.
I'm going to play this character as incredibly British.
And if you remember, Dr. Bashir, you spent 5 months in a Dominion internment camp, and everyone thought the changeling was the real you. So you can't blame us for wanting to take precautions.
Yes, I am very well aware of my time in the Dominion concentration camp. So thank you for reminding me of one of the worst periods of my life.
And you came back wearing the wrong uniform as well.
Ask him what the Intrepid was like. Ask him if the Intrepid had good grub on it and if it had a better mannered EMH than the other Intrepid class ships.
That ship he was on was the Bellefonte.
Dr. Bashir, in case you're wondering who all these people are eavesdropping on us via subspace radio, we are affiliated with the USS the USS Enigma. So if you wouldn't mind indulging us with a little drop of blood, we'll look at it for a bit, see if it plays up, and then once that's over, pending the outcome, we would really appreciate your professional medical opinion on our guest who's over in that bucket over there.
Oh, the standard changeling regeneration system. Yes, the bucket. Very well. It
actually was a bedpan, but when needs must, the devil drives.
Well, for their sake, I hope you've washed it first, shall we say.
They didn't.
yeah.
Freshly replicated.
Well, are we going to say that Tapao just takes the blood test?
Yes.
Very well. Well, Tapao takes the blood test, and lo and behold, it is Dr. Bashir.
Okay.
Then get
Would
to
you
work.
like this blood back, or should we just bin it?
Vaporize it.
Yes. I think we should recycle it. It's probably for the best. Pre-owned
Righty-ho.
blood is not the best.
Well, we would appreciate any fresh insights you have. As you can understand, our shuttle equipment is limited, and our experience with changelings is actually not too bad, but our intimate knowledge of them from inside out is not as great as yours. So, yeah, we know it's sick. We know that it is suffering from a virus that seems to have been artificially generated, but it's a bit baffling because of its nature. But it's not for me to tell you how to do your job. Carry on.
Very well. I will take a peek, as they say. So Bashir will have to lower the
Commander
containment field.
Before the containment field is lowered, arm yourself.
I've always got a
that's
phaser in my hand. Yeah.
A pretty good point. So you're both armed, yes? Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case.
So Bashir,
we've been shooting each other for kicks all the time while we've been aboard this vessel. Just with a light stun, you know.
What you all do in the comfort of your own shuttlecraft is none of our business.
What happens on the shuttlecraft stays on the
Commander
shuttlecraft.
Dowd, as long as I don't hear anything about what you and the doctor do, that's none of my concern.
As long as we don't have to see it, hear it, or smell it, it's okay. Beep, 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 beep. So now containment field goes down, and strangely enough, the shapeshifter doesn't immediately try and spring out or attack you. It's just sort of congealing in this bucket.
It's all in the poor thing.
But we've stopped him from being able to regenerate for 18 hours.
Well, I have to say, just on a first glance, it does appear very, very sick. So, where's my? I should have had. I would have had my tricorder prop, but I'd never thought. Bleep, 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 bleep. It's in a drawer somewhere. I'll get it later. Is that okay as a part? Oh yes. Oh yes. So Bashir does have a check on the changeling, and well, oh my goodness, this you say this is not a naturally occurring virus, and you were able to determine this using your shuttlecraft's medical facilities. Can I see the logs? Do you have the logs available?
Yeah, Tapau's over there. She'll show him you.
Okay, to Pau and Bashir will have a conversation about what's going on.
Permission to share logs granted.
Okay, so right, this is quite a situation we have. Wow, you've got a more complex tricorder than I have.
Well, it's older and it's yellowing. I want to paint it or restore it somehow.
Doctor, we get the new equipment on like your relics you have on this old Cardi space station.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the toy. I'm so sorry.
I am talking about the toy.
Okay.
Do you have the one with the purple stripe on the tricorder? The lower decks one. They've got the tricorder with the new purple stripe.
You know me in lower decks. You might as well say
Lower Decks. That's my favorite Star Trek.
Lower Decks is so good. So good. So, what Bashir is going to tell you is, okay, what I can see here from the logs that you have and the scans I've just taken, this is a severely fast-acting and very complex virus. It's clearly progressing at quite a rate. I would assume that's why the changeling isn't moving.
Is it related to the Section 31 virus?
That is an interesting question. I think yes, but it's not like any form of that virus that we've seen, or the files that we managed to get on that virus. This is something else. It appears to be the Section 31 virus, but it's not that virus. This is the. I need to take these. I need to take these scans back to my lab on the station. We've got better equipment there. I need to run some more tests.
But the prisoner remains on the shuttlecraft, though.
That's fine. I am going to ask if I can take a sample. However, just a small amount, like a vial. Excellent. Right, she's going to take the like a blood sample type of vial of changeling material, and almost immediately when he takes the material, it starts to blacken and turn into powder. The changeling is clearly incredibly ill.
But after Dr. Bashir takes the sample, the force field gets reactivated.
Yep, that's a good idea. You never know. It might be.
Suggesting beaming it into the sun for safety.
Yeah, we'll just store it inside this nuclear furnace. It'll be fine.
No, we just get all the information we need first, then deal with it. But in the meantime, I've gone to Quark's, and I've used one of the briefcases of Latinum to buy some more nukes, which have been transported aboard the ship. And I've also used the second briefcase to pay off my good friend Beckett Mariner's bar tab.
Very well. So, Bashir's got the sample, and he's going to beam back to Deep Space Nine to do analysis on it. In the meantime, what are you guys going to be doing?
Yeah. Well, I've just said what I've done, and I've just given Mariner a data chip with the infamous hologram of Quark's head on Kira's body that you could use for blackmail. That you could use for blackmail material in season 3.
Are we also trying to find Lena Inverse? Is it?
Lena von Ryan, yes.
Yeah.
I tried to get a significantly interesting sounding name so I could remember what she was called, and it didn't work.
Well, Quark's made his biggest profit of the year.
Are we possibly? Wasn't she bound in the direction of this ship, or were we going in a different direction? I can't immediately recall. We were trying to follow that ship, weren't we, so that we got there faster.
Yeah, we were supposed to contact ops, get and contact the medical personnel on the station, but I think we were supposed to be headed to whichever planet the Oberth vessel was headed to, or the Lesepian ship. That was it. We were supposed to intercept the Lesepian vessel because. Was she not on the Lesepian vessel, or assumed to be something to do with it?
We got information from that chap, didn't we, that she was boarding a particular vessel, heading to a particular station.
Yes. Lena von Ryan is on a Lesepian transporter called Grabul. Grabul.
Didn't you tell us that vessel was only capable of, was it warp 4 or 5? So we would have outrun it anyway.
Warp 8, and we can outrun it because we go like 9.6 or something.
But I'll be right back. I'm going to the Bajoran Shrine for 10 minutes.
This one goes up to 9, you see. That's what's good about it. It goes up to 9. If you overcharge the engines, it probably goes to 11.
You can't go to 11. At warp 10, you exist in every point in space all at once.
We kind of changed the laws of physics.
We can bend them a bit. The Q can change the laws of physics.
No, if you're on the event horizon, you don't want to bend the laws of physics if you're on the event horizon. You don't want that.
Oh, I love that film. It's a bit of a crap film, but I love it for the fact that it's basically a prequel to Warhammer. They essentially have accidentally recreated the way humans found the warp dimension from Warhammer. which is cool.
Most of it ended up on the cutting floor
Yeah.
as well, because the director saw some of the stuff that not the director, but I can't remember who it was. They saw some of the stuff they filmed and said, "Yeah, that will never ever get a certificate. You need to get rid of that. You can't have that. That's absolutely a no-no."
Yep, it's worse than X-rated. So, yeah, what were you wanting to find out about Lena?
My mind just blanked.
We're finding out where she is as we go to ask some questions. Are we going to warp at our slightly higher speed to her location or her presumed location?
I agree with that. Yeah, we should perhaps, before we go, we wanted to get some scans from the station to see if they detected the vessel and if they had a flight plan for it, and also a flight plan for the Starfleet science vessel. That's the two things we sort of need, and then we can try and track down the Lesepians.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Let's
I'm
begin
not sure.
then.
Am I allowed to chime in? Patrick
Yeah.
chimes in on the shuttle a lot, so am I allowed to chime in on the
It's a two-way.
station?
Yeah, it's a two-way conversation with the comms.
Okay. No, I'm just wondering if she's as disgraced as she seems to be, and you're on DS9. It may be a little trip to Corpse. He's got his ears to the ground. Maybe he knows something about this disgraced person. A bit of information might be available from him or someone he knows.
Yeah, that's perfectly possible as well. Right, I'm going to bring up. I need to bring up a character sheet so I can see what everything is. There we go. Right. So, first of all, we're going to deal with the ops thing with the scans and check on the logs, because we'll take it step by step. Could I have, from whoever's doing this, a control plus security check?
Okay, 2 seconds. Control plus security. So control for me is 10, and security is 1. What have you got, James?
I've got control 9 and security 4.
Okay, that's quite good. So you could go for that.
Should I roll for that?
Yep, 2d20, please.
So I've got 14 and 14.
Okay, so that just hits on both. So you've got 2 successes. Plus the computer's got 1 because I rolled a 5, so anything under 10 is a success for the computer assistance. Okay, so they have picked up the Grubble on a long-range scan. It passed here about 6 hours ago. And from the direction it's going, it appears to be on a direct course for the Aurelius star, which is quite useful for you, because that's where the Oberth class ship was going as well.
Did we want to know who had destroyed the Oberth vessel, or are we not too worried about that?
I think you might want to know. Sorry?
Was it not destroyed when somebody sneezed in its general direction?
Yeah, it tripped and blew up.
Zoe, didn't you say we had, because I remember speaking about it, maybe it was 4 weeks ago now, it was when we first mentioned the Oberth class ship. I asked something about the records in Starfleet, about the flight recorder or something. Did we manage to get the flight recorder from it? Because we knew the location it was destroyed, but was anything salvaged from it?
Starfleet hasn't yet sent a salvage ship out. That won't help the Oberth. It's already gone, man. It's too late. Starfleet hasn't yet sent any search and rescue ships out because the ship was meant to be going on an archaeological dig. It's only left not long ago, and it's not been long enough to send anyone out just in case. But it is unusual that it didn't phone in early after it had left Deep Space Nine. like if there's any kind of problems out there.
It's overdue. Okay, what do you think, James? So we know that we know the direction this thing's headed, the Grabool. We know it's headed for the Aurelius star. The science vessel was headed in the same direction. We could kill two birds with one stone. We could follow the course that what was it called? The Ganymede. We could follow the Ganymede's course. We could see if we could get anything from it, if there's anything left in its debris field. And at the same time, we could also head on. I mean, it wouldn't take us long to stop and do a scan of the wreckage and then jump on and head and try and, that's what I'm looking for here.
Yeah. Do you know what orbits that star that is of a point of interest?
The planet Mephistron orbits that star.
And is that an inhabited planet?
It was inhabited. It's been home to a number of archaeological digs over the years for a lost civilization. Picard actually went there one time to pursue some research on it.
It's Class M.
Perhaps set a course to get into an orbit of that planet for the time being, and do so at our highest available warp speed.
Yeah. I think we should, en route to it, I still think we should try and get any information off the damaged or the destroyed ship that we can as well, just in case there's something out there that could. I mean, it wouldn't take much to destroy their Berth class ship, but we still don't want attacked by anything.
Yes, as long as we can do that, we can still get there ahead of the other one. That's fine.
So would we stop? Remember in the episode where they found Data's uncle and they stopped and they did a quick transport and then they just warped off? Would we be able to do a long-range scan as we approach the debris field, stop, try and get the information we want, and then head on? Would that be a possibility?
Yeah, a quick pulse scan, that should be enough to get information on life signs and stuff like that, unless there's some kind of interference out there.
Cool. What do we think?
Let's do that.
Okay, meanwhile, what's happening with the shuttle and the changeling?
So, Dr. Bashir, I didn't hear the answer to the complete answer to whether or not this was related to the Section 31 engineered virus.
Okay. It appears to be related to it. It's as if it's another version of it, but he's taken the samples back to the station for further analysis because something is just not quite right about it.
Well, considering the changeling is suffering and it seems there's no hope, I think we ought to end its suffering.
I do just want to kill changelings.
I'm proposing a merciful death. Or beam it into the sun.
I knew you were going to say that.
To be honest, this is topical because I mean, assisted dying just passed. So I mean, we're only sort of keeping with the times here. It's
a merciful nuke.
Well, I can't fire a nuke at the shuttle because Commander Dowd and Tapar is still on board.
Yeah. So the question is, what do you want to do? Is the shuttle staying here, or are you going with them?
Well, before we go, we're gonna get rid of the change. We're going to give the changeling a merciful death.
My goodness.
Look,
Captain Dowd, all right with
lock onto the changeling and beam it into the sun.
It might be wise. We've got our medical officer. The vessel itself, the Enigma, has an EMH, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
So leaving the chief medical officer, it wouldn't be too much of a hassle where we too end up in a combat situation because we have the EMH. We have other medical personnel on board. There must be a second in command. Remember, it was a wee Japanese lady, wasn't it? She was the second medical officer on the Enterprise D. So we must. We must have someone like that aboard, and we also have an EMH. It may also be of worth having someone like Captain Dowd and Tapau near the station because they're fairly experienced they know what they're talking about, and we would be able to sort of act out two things at once. So it's obviously it's just my sort of point of view on it, but it lets us get two things done at once, and we're not going to be disenfranchised having those two members of crew there. They're safe as well. Plus the changeling safe. We're not trying to take it either onto the station or bring it along with us to an area where we might end up in a firefight.
I've just ordered the changeling be beamed into the sun.
Okay, it was safe till we did that. It was safe till Patrick did that.
We haven't actually beamed it. It's behind.
Are my nuclear weapons been fully loaded in the cargo bay yet?
May I attempt something slightly diplomatic?
Go for it.
I don't know. I don't know that we have any information. I've been trying to do a shallow dive on the internet whilst Patrick was talking, but I don't know if my Betazoid or my character's Betazoid senses could certainly not link, but maybe try to reach it on a non-verbal level, and maybe try to have send it some healing vibes, some encouraging vibes, let it know that we know it's suffering and we are trying to attempt a solution.
Ensign Tabby, walk onto the changeling and beam it into the wormhole. We'll send it home.
Did we ever have an episode? I'm sure there was an episode with a changeling in it in The Next Generation. Were they able to be scanned and reached by betazoids?
I've just looked it up, and there's a lot of stuff on Reddit.
In The Next Generation.
Oh,
no, it's in Deep Space Nine. I'm looking at Reddit. They've actually had this discussion.
There were books set in with the Next Generation crew during the war.
There are.
I don't recall
yes.
seeing anything saying the betazoids could communicate with telepathy with them.
Well, according to the Reddit discussion from a bunch of nerds, almost as nerdy as we are, that episode where Odo and Waxana Troy are stuck in a lift shows that she can't read him.
Okay.
So they appear to be incompatible, a bit like Ferengi.
Yeah, because of the way the brain's structured in the Ferengi.
Yeah.
Well, they have the ability. They cannot read changelings' minds. Changelings can disguise themselves from a betazoid by changing the makeup of their brain to match another person.
Commander Dowd, you're ordered to beam that changeling into the sun.
How is it that the visual?
I'm sorry, this is a very bad connection. Call back again.
How is it that the Bajoran doctor actually managed to communicate with Odo? Now, they managed not only to communicate with Odo, but they communicated with the changeling that they found floating in space. Is there any way that we could use, without hurting it, because it's obviously in a critical condition as it is there any way that we could use something akin to Morse? Is there any recognized international semaphore system that we could use to try and communicate with the changeling to let it know that it's a mission of mercy, that we intend it absolutely no harm, and that we are currently at a place where there's a great degree of medical knowledge on its species. We're trying to actually help it. So do we have any sort of, Starfleet equivalent for Morse code or anything like that?
There might be a swear word to the changelings.
There probably is something like that, because they did manage to get a communication with Odo back in the day, and that other one, like you said.
And that was a Bajoran scientist who did that.
It was a Bajoran scientist, yeah, and he started out with electrocuting it and stuff like that. But
yeah, but we do know that they are.
Sorry?
We do know that they are receptive and they do listen. that's how Odo distinguished his approach from Dr. Mora, was to talk to it gently, to be encouraging and stuff like that. It ended up being a combination of the two approaches that ended up, having any effect. But I'm looking at my character sheet. I sent it to you, Zoe, a while back, but I've got empathy, first contact, and diplomacy down as under focus. I'm just wondering if it might be nice to have a wee bit of chat that's perhaps supported by those, to let it know that our people may not get along, but this is, as far as we're concerned, this is now a humanitarian effort. We're going to put those things aside, and we want to focus on your well-being.
Welcome.
Oh, hi. I was like, why is everybody waving? What's happening? I see you now. We're still on the shuttle. We're still trying to... Bashir came aboard the shuttle, and he diagnosed it with a virus that bears some similarity to the Section 31 virus that they used on Odo to contaminate the Great Link, but it's somewhat different. So he's gone back to his laboratory to see what he can see. We're trying to figure out what to do in the meanwhile. Sorry, Zoe, that was...
Biddly beep. Bashir to shuttlecraft Ganymede. Bashir to shuttlecraft Ganymede. Come in.
Is that us?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you're not.
I thought Ganymede was the name of
the ship. I'm getting confused. Bashir to shuttlecraft, whatever you're called. Come in.
We're here. We're all ears.
You guys are going to want to see this. What you've got here is something. I think it's appropriate to say it is literally out of this world.
This is Star Trek. Everything's a bit out of this world.
Everything's out of this world. I was going to say, is the Coke out of this world? You said it was out of this world and they picked up some Coke.
I've just drank a changeling. What can I say?
Breakfast of Champions. So what have you, Doctor?
I can explain why this virus appears so similar and yet so different. It's not from this universe.
And
that is all I've got so far. That it
Okay.
It is not from this universe. You appear to have picked up a virus from another dimension.
Have you tried applying it to different tissues in your tissue bank to see if any species have any kind of resistance to it, or is it going to be harmful to any species of our universe?
From what I can tell, it appears to be targeted specifically for changelings, but because of its DNA structure, it's not using the same base pairs that we would use. It's not going to it's unlikely. I'm not going to say it's not going to transfer. It's unlikely. Oh, sorry. Oh, we're getting a bit of interference there. It's unlikely to transfer to any other species.
Commander Dowd, can you ask if it has any indication of either being Klingon or if there is any indication it could come from the Terran Empire?
Are you asking us that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's another dimension. I'm wondering because the crew of DS9 had interactions with the Terran Empire and with the Klingon counterparts. So I believe the Klingons had some form of dalliance with the Cardassians, and they were part of their own little empire, and there was a Terran Empire. So does it have any indication of being created either in a Klingon laboratory or in a Terran laboratory?
Based on the information and samples that we've taken over the years from the mirror universe, it does not appear to be from the Terran Empire. It does not appear to be from that particular dimension.
What are the possibilities of an agent? Something, a cure?
I'm going to work as hard as I can to make a cure, but we are literally working with DNA that is completely alien. This is not like the kind of DNA that we have. So it should be possible to filter it out because the base pairs are so different that we can tag them and try and make it disappear that way. But I can't guarantee it because we are looking at alien DNA for stuff that we've not seen. This is something that we're seeing now for the first time.
Now, I know that this world was mentioned, so has it come from there?
I'm sorry, I don't know where that is.
Another dimension, another time and space, but we'd need a wormhole to travel there or something else.
What about, is there any, I don't know how to word this, because I can't remember how they got to it. It doesn't bear any resemblance to anything relating to species 8472.
Oh, that would have been so good if I'd thought of that.
It's just when you say another dimension because the board's ripped a hole.
What species 8472 want to infect changelings?
Because they hate everything.
Yeah, they hate things that aren't them. They're like the Daleks.
Captain Janeway, well, Admiral Janeway made peace with them.
Yeah, kind of. For a bit.
What's the species that number one is from Strange New Worlds? Una Riley Chinwag or whatever.
Una Chin Riley or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I forget, but isn't their blood, like, aren't they able to pretty much cure anything?
But also,
with a bit of transfusion and a spoonful of sugar?
But also, they did what did to her what they did to Dr. Bashir.
Yeah, she's Illyrian.
Oh, yeah.
Can we give us give Dr. Bashir and assuming we're on DS9?
Well, you and Commander Dowd are still on your precious shuttlecraft.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because we can't really come aboard.
No, at least I haven't tried nuking it.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be nuking our show.
No, I haven't.
Oh wow, this is miracles going on.
But Commander Dowd won't obey orders to beam it into the changeling into the sun.
It's poorly. Leave it alone.
Merciful death.
Can we not beam to, but send the data from the shuttle to yourselves, and the data from the black box that we collected from the other shuttle to see whether there's any anomalies or anything they can clean up or try and clean up that was on the black box data from the other shuttle.
Well, Dr. Bashir's got all the data about the change.
There was deleted information on this, and did we also get any more information on that Oberth, who they were fighting, where they were from, and any information from that?
We're still going through that.
Yeah, that we know where we've seen where the Oberth was going. They did check. Saul, that's your character's name, isn't it? Yeah, Saul has checked the logs on Deep Space Nine for where its flight plan was going. So we do know where that's going. It's going to Aurelius Star. Yeah, sorry, I got there in the end. Hello, cat. Hello. But yes, if you want to check the logs for some interesting anomalies, I like that idea. I don't think we've done that yet. Could I have
Because
a?
we got the data from the black box, but some of it was missing. It had been wiped in some way, and I'm wondering whether we can get the wiped stuff back.
I like it. Could I have an insight plus security check on 2d20?
Does Starfleet have undelete tools?
My
Well, they're about-
insight is 10 and security is just 1.
Okay.
But if T'Pau may have better numbers.
I am just looking. Some disorganisation has gone on this evening.
Real life is never simple. That's what makes it interesting.
Could be worse, Krista. This whole room I'm in is disorganised.
You don't want to see what's on the
Insight
floor. anyway.
and what's the other thing?
Insight plus security.
That's 11.
Okay.
So we're the same, I think.
Okay. Well, you could both do it, and then
Yes, I
combine
think
your
we should
efforts.
play.
Okay. Sides on a dice 20. Oh, sides on a dice. It won't let me go that high. What's going on? Oh, no, it did let me. 2d20.
2d20.
Yep.
I've got 12 and 8.
And I
Okay.
have got 10 and 14.
Okay. So that's 2 successes between the two of you, plus the one that the computer gets. So that's more than enough successes. There was an anomaly. The shuttle did encounter an anomaly. What appears to be a rift in space-time, like a tiny micro wormhole, appeared for about 20 seconds, and it was affected, and that might be it. But you can't be sure. You do know where it is, though, and I'm just going to quickly find my. Where is?
T'Pau, are you up for another road trip?
I'm up for another road trip. I'm always up for a road trip. I've got a heavy right foot and it's all good.
Well, let's say the farther away we are, the less likely we're going to be nuked.
Yes, this is true.
Okay, let's see. Where could I put a good, a nice, interesting?
We're getting some audio feedback, so could anyone not speaking please mute just so that we can eliminate that, and also we can perhaps find out who it is and the person who it is can make some adjustments.
I am going to say, okay, it was near the Badlands in the Nivok system. I'm going to write that down in the chat. The anomaly. My head is full of cold. Sorry, guys. Was in the Nivok system near the Badlands. So there you go. We are now completely off script because this was not part of the original idea I had, but it was too good to not go with.
Does the log report being scanned by a coherent tetryon beam?
And a coherent tetryon beam, my God, as opposed to our standard incoherent tetryon beams. I'm very much an incoherent tetryon beam today. So yes, we can. Oh, Captain Dowd, you're on mute.
Tabby told us to. I was just going to say, what do you reckon we ditch this tiny shuttle and ask the kind folk at DS9 to loan us like one of their best runabouts, and you, me, and Baby Makes 3 could borrow it and go in a bit of style.
I like that thinking. How easy is it going to be to transport this the changeling to another vessel without it escaping or going anywhere?
It seems quite poorly. I don't think it's going to put much of a struggle up, but moving it from one, like we'll replicate the containment field. Like we can, like one of us could beam aboard the Danube class, and then one of us can remain behind, and then we can beam the thing over, and then the final person can beam over. It's kind of like that problem with the fox, the goose, and the bag of oats or whatever.
Yes.
Commander,
Yes.
the changeling is not to leave that shuttlecraft.
Well, it is illogical to do that, so we are going to disobey some orders here.
You and Sir Paul can use the runabout to go on your road trip, but that changeling is staying on that shuttlecraft.
You don't run DS9, so that's a bit of an issue. We're asking them.
I'm running the Enigma here, madam.
That's all right. We're running from DS9, so it's all right.
Unless you two want to find yourself serving time in the brig, you'll obey orders.
I don't mind being in the brig. You get nice food and stuff there. It's fairly good. I'm good with that.
And I think
bring me some nice mac and cheese.
But I'll make sure you get only bread and water.
A runabout's going to have much more complex sensors and sensor suites and
yes, I think that
computer
sounds
capacity.
a good idea.
It's like a lab on. It's a what do they call it? Rust, milky mash and rust.
Well, I believe we have a Danube 2 class runabout in the shuttle bay. We'll test it.
We're gonna speak to DS9 and see if we can loan one.
I thought when you said if you're talking to DS9, I really thought you were going to try and borrow the Defiant.
Oh, can we take that?
You
Can we
can't
run it with
borrow the Defiant.
Oh,
Yeah, people just walk in and take it half the time. So.
yes, we could just walk in and take it, and that'd be all right.
Ensign Tabby, time to earn yourself a promotion. Log on to the.
Okay, we would like to ask DS9 to borrow a runabout.
Deep Space Nine is willing to loan a runabout as long as one of their security officers comes along to make sure the changeling doesn't cause trouble.
Is it Michael Eddington?
It's not Eddington. Eddington's gone.
We'll take an ensign or lower.
Ensign or lower.
Yeah. We don't want to be outranked by anybody.
Permission for a security, an ensign ranked security guard to accompany our science officers granted.
I think it's DS9 that said that.
Yeah, it's DS9 that's because we're borrowing their stuff.
Yeah, but it's our mission.
Yeah, we agree to these terms. Are you all right with that, T-Dowd?
You can't agree to their terms.
We're borrowing their car.
Yeah, we're going to borrow their car and take a security guy. I think that's fair enough.
Ensign Tabby, being one of our security guards onto the runabout as well.
I think our android's getting annoyed with us.
You leave beaming, we'll get lots of security guards. I'm sure they'll have a nice conversation about tea and biscuits.
Shall we?
And the replicators are to be disabled. They're not to produce tea and cake.
That's all right. I won't miss either of those as long as I've got some coffee. You've just said I'm good with that. So I don't miss tea and cake. I'm happy with that.
Program the replicator not to give out coffee.
There's always the Racta, Gino.
Time to earn a promotion. Log on to the Defiant and launch 2 nukes.
Do not nuke the Defiant.
I can do that this particular promotion. I think I'm happy with the tea and cake.
Fire!
I'm not going to be doing that.
Shall we? Oh, sorry, Zoe.
Go on.
I say, shall we come to some form of resolution? So the main body of what has now become a miniaturized task force, are we to head for the Aurelius Star and try and gather some information en route about the demise of the Aberth class vessel, whilst Tapau and Mr. Dowd purloin a Danube class runabout. Make sure you get one of those nice ones with the photon launcher on the top of it. You want full spec here, folks, okay? Don't let them give you any guff. You want top of the line, right?
Make sure to get them the fairy dice.
We'll sort you out with
It's
some.
the Orinoco or nothing.
It is.
And
It is.
Tabby,
You're demanding that.
beam 2 nukes into the runabout's torpedo launcher.
The most overpowered runabout.
To defend themselves with.
So, what do you guys say? They get the runabout, safely get our crew members onto the runabout, along with the rather sick, gelatinous individual, and the Enigma will go hunting for damaged bits of vessel and then take up a low orbit around what was it? Mephisto. No, that's a thing.
Mephistron?
Mephistrion.
Well,
Mephisto.
but since they're using a runabout, just to be sure, nuke the shuttle.
I was going to say, Zoe, Mephistrion, you run the risk of a copyright claim from Captain Scarlet there, do you know? This is the voice of the Mephistrions. Should we be prepared for something like that?
Ensign Tabby, lock onto the shuttle and nuke it, just to make sure there's no remains left.
I think in this stage with
I think Captain Dowd would like to say something.
So I just have a question. What happened to this Lessepian Scottish vessel? The Gorbals?
The
We're still
Grabul.
looking for it.
That's the one that Lena von Ryan's on. It's on its way to Aurelius.
So it's not been destroyed or anything. It's oh, okay.
Deep
Not
Space
been
Nine's
destroyed
long
yet.
range scans did pick it up en route to Aurelius a few hours
So
ago.
what are you looking like? Which vessel are you looking for bits of?
The old Earth.
And then go to Mephistrion, sit in a low orbit because we can outrun the Grabul. We'll wait for it. It'll appear. We'll see who beams down. We'll send me and some other folk down. I'll get hands on with them, and then we'll take them back on the ship and we'll interrogate them after I've got hands on with them and made sure that they'll speak and tell us what we want to know.
What? Well, before we go, as I said, Ensign Tabby, nuke the shuttle.
I can't be nuking.
Can I go lore on these people? Like, am I allowed to behave like lore towards them, or am I supposed to have like morals and stuff?
You're supposed to behave yourself.
Oh, I
coming of a Starfleet officer.
like this. The guy who's nuking everyone and beaming species into the sun is telling the android to behave itself.
What do I need to roll to nuke the shuttle now that our friends have left it?
This is big do as I say, not as I do energy here.
I have to say, Zoe, see for our next role-playing thing, can we do Babylon 5 in the time of the Minbari War, just so Patrick can be the commander of the Lexington? I think I think that's. Let's face it, that's where we're headed with this. We need to get one where we're aboard a Hyperion class vessel and we just go nuking Minbari.
But Mr. Android, Sheridan didn't fire nukes. He just mined asteroids with nukes and remotely detonated them.
I've seen season
I've seen
1.
every episode of Babylon 5 more than Star Trek.
I've seen season 1 of Babylon 5 and like 2 episodes of season 2.
But you've missed all the good combat scenes then.
Yep. I just haven't had time to get through it. It's been one of those things.
Yeah, but
I love how they commercialize
telepathy. Look forward. Go to season 3, episode 7 Dreams, and season 4, episodes 15 to 21. Then you get some good space combat.
I'll get there in the end. I've got all seasons. Just literally, I can reach them from here. I'll get there eventually.
Just make sure you're watching the 4x3 versions.
Oh, don't worry. My DVDs are old school.
Babylon 5 DVDs are cropped to 16:9
Oh, are they? Oh.
and very badly done as well.
Well, in that case, I'm watching the crap version.
Yeah,
Are
you
there
need the
some-
Blu-rays that are in their native 4x3 format, and that's the format the CGI was done in.
Patrick's right. If you see the more recent ones, they never got a full overhaul. So the Omega classes and stuff, they kind of look like you're shooting at an N64 sprite. When they blow up, it just turns into chunks. It's like,
No, it's
Are there maybe
twerking.
some things we should be doing rather than sort of talking about random stuff?
Yep,
Yeah.
we are.
What do I need to roll to nuke the shuttle? Can you please let me have this one at least?
Well, that would
Okay.
mean you have one fewer nuke, won't it?
Okay. Let's just do this. So, you're now moving aboard the runabouts with the changeling. Bashir is not happy that you're taking this changeling with you. By the way, he would like to study what's going on and try and make it better.
Well, tell Dr. Bashir if he wants to study it, he can come along with us.
Yes, can't we just take him with us?
Okay, Bashir will come with you.
But tell him
So
no
we can-
enacting any war game fantasies.
And once you're off,
now.
once you're off,
Hi, Jenny.
No, that's Zoe.
Hi, Zoe. Sorry.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Right?
Sorry, a child has appeared.
It's
And
all
that
right.
was my train I was showing you. And here's my
We've-
teddy.
I've got a bare bottom on screen. Oh dear. I had to make the joke.
Bye, Zoe.
Oh, he's cool. Take care. Bye. So, the moment you're off the shuttle, a small light appears underneath the USS Enigma. And it seems to be getting closer and closer and closer to your beloved shuttle, and then boom! And all of a sudden, the shuttle just explodes into tiny radioactive fragments.
I knew it was going to be that or Troy getting pregnant again. It had to be one of the two.
I thought it was going to be the more you know thing was going to appear next to the spy. The more you know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, that was odd. I wonder if that would have happened if we had stayed aboard.
That was very odd, and now we've got no transport when we bring this runabout back.
I'd just rumble the runabout, it's fine. What they're going to do is a space station. We've got a Galaxy-class ship, and it's an old Cardassian wreck anyway, so it's okay. We'll just rumble the runabout.
They can't chase after you. They can't move.
Ensign Tabby,
Not at any real speed anyway. They moved it in the first episode, but not at any real speed. It nearly fell apart when they moved it.
That was so
Ensign
funny.
Tabby, lock phasers onto the station and disable their weapons.
I didn't quite.
Why
hear the
are
first
you
one.
declaring war on Deep Space Nine?
Right.
Can we scan?
So they
The,
can't go on us when we steal their runabout.
Can we check sensor logs either of the station or of the Enigma or the runabout or all three to figure out what just happened?
Yeah, there's a lot of radiation alarms going off.
So,
Ensign Tabby, you've earned your catnip for the week.
do
So,
we have to roll
we got-
anything to get underway with this or no?
Yeah, we're going to need a control plus security. Sorry, no, a control plus. Yeah, it's control plus security check, please, to check on the logs.
Yep.
Is that
Well,
Tapao and I or anybody?
Yeah, for you too.
Oh, okay. So
I've got 10 and
control
4 for security.
and
Control
security.
and
Mine is
security.
mine. Tapao, my total is 9 for that.
Patrick, you already know what happened. You don't need to check the logs.
Mine is control and reason.
Yeah, sorry, control and security.
Control is 11 and security is 2. 13.
I rolled a 13 and an 8.
I've just dropped my dice on the floor. I don't know where they went.
I have rolled a 1 and an 18.
I think that means we both have one success, although I could be wrong.
I think we got 3.
I've got a bloody dice tray, and I still managed to roll the dice on the floor.
I was howling at that. I've got this, I've got that, and from Zoe, I've dropped my dice on the floor.
Yeah, it's gone. I have no idea where it is. Right, so you've got 2 successes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What appears to have happened is the Enigma has fired on the shuttle. There's
Okay.
now a large amount of radiation in the in the region.
Should we alert the Deep Space Nine to put up its shields?
Yes, we should alert the DS9 to put up its shields and give everybody radiation medication and to prepare for a battle and have the Defiant out and any other ships that they have got to escort the Enigma or and to get the crew off of it and try whoever it is who fired the nuke for some kind of a crime.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine is already on the case. It has raised shields.
Sorry, where's this planet our disgraced scientist is heading for?
Mephistrion.
Ensign Tabby, set course for Mephistrion. Warp 9. Engage.
Of course, can't we go slightly faster than 9? We can go 9 point something, can't we?
9.6. I'm
Let's
just
go with
going to.
warp 9 for now.
Could I have a control plus con check from Tabby, please?
Me, right. I've got 9 control and 2 con. And let me roll the dice. Maybe just a second. I get 13 and 10.
Okay. What was your total again for your control and con?
Let me just check that again. So control was 9, con was 2, so it's 11.
Okay. Right. Give me 1 second.
Remember, we need to check the debris field from the Beth class. On the
Success, isn't it? So the
Okay.
numbers have to be lower, I think.
You have successfully managed to go to warp before Deep Space Nine could put a tractor beam on you.
Yes.
They're not happy.
We are going to be looking for this debris field that we are thinking of.
Okay, so while you're escaping the scene of the crime, what are our guys on the runabouts up to?
They probably locked on. The station have probably locked a tractor on them.
Really trying to explain why their mothership has just done what it has done. I would imagine that would be answering very difficult questions.
Yeah, we're on the Orinoco. That one I will remember.
Always makes me think of the old Uncle Bulgaria.
Now.
Always makes me think of that Enya song.
I like
that song.
Orinoco's a womble, not a river.
And the song's Orinoco Flows.
The Orinoco Flow, yeah. Well,
I love that song.
Nobody said it wasn't a good song, Patrick. Stand down.
What
was I going to say? Should we try to render assistance to just to distance ourselves from our former employers?
Yes, I think that's a very good idea. We don't want anything to do with them people.
Them people. Oh my goodness.
Yes, we are nothing to do with them. We are peaceful people that come with logic and medical science.
Yeah, we come in peace. He shoots to kill.
Yes.
Yeah, potato.
Yeah, so Bashir and the security guard from Deep Space Nine look at you and go, could someone please explain what the hell just happened?
And we say, it's
that
Friday.
bloke over there just nuked our transport. and we're having nothing to do with him anymore. We're starting our own shit now over here, and we would like Starfleet to send us a brand new runabout to DS9, and we'll come and pick that up ourselves on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do realise this is tantamount to treason?
Actually, we would like Starfleet to make us a ship like the Defiant, but not quite the same, and we'll captain it ourselves. We're not worried about having a crew on board. We'll just take it.
And
You do realise this is tantamount to treason?
Is DS9
You're the one that's going to be up for war crimes.
Someone has to now say in response to Starfleet something as basic as diplomatic immunity.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me that your crewmates blew up one of their own ships with a nuclear device, and your response is to ask us to build you a ship for yourselves?
Yeah, because we don't want anything to do without them people over there.
Well,
Or-
that I can understand.
If we need to work our way up to that, are there any jobs going on DS9?
Yes.
Is there an application process we could? Do you have any applications we could fill out? Is it is it online?
I've got very good statistics. I completed a mission with them goons over there, but with more diplomacy.
Wait a minute here. I is my commission and like my liberty at risk here? Because I didn't fire anything. I was just on the vessel when it did that. I don't want to get into trouble for this. I don't want to be beefed.
I was just following orders. Yes.
Oh, considering we're both from the mirror universe, we're in trouble anyway.
Oh dear.
Shades of Nuremberg, I think.
I was in the canteen at the time.
But you're the one who, Commander Cloud is the one who agreed to being parasite in the sun last season.
See, whilst we're all arguing, is anyone actually at the helm of this thing, or are we just hurtling through space at 9 times as right?
Tabby's flying, don't worry.
Ah, cool.
Tabby's at the helm of the Enigma.
The security guard is currently at the helm of our thing, so it's fine for us to have a debate here.
Commander Dowd, Commander T'Pol, get moving to your destination, or I'll see you court-martialed.
I think you court-martialed.
This mission has gone completely awry. I think we need to face it. We were joking about war crimes. We basically committed them now, and I don't think.
And Colonel Kara, I only ordered that shuttle nuked to make sure there was no traces of changeling DNA there that could potentially cause harm. It was the only way to be sure.
Wait, is there any chance we could just get in an escape pod at this speed? Would we be all right? I mean, at this point in time, I don't think anything worse could happen to us. Our commissions are finished.
Right, we are our destination. How many days is it going to take us to get there, or is it very local? How quickly can we be there?
You could probably be there in a couple of hours.
Okay.
So, while you're heading there, I'm going to jump to the Enigma. Fucking hell. I have completely lost control, haven't I? Okay, on the Enigma, I need you to give me a quick check on control plus science, please.
Right, I've got 10 control.
I have 9 and 2.
I've got 10 and 2.
Okay. Could I have 2d6, please? Sorry, 2d20s, please.
And I have 10 and 1.
So sounds like Miller has the best score for this.
Yep.
Wait, 2 seconds. I got a 6 and a 4.
Excellent. we're looking for numbers underneath the amount that you've got in total.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
So, 2 successes.
Okay. 2 successes. So I got the sum is 10, product 24.
You've got something on long range scans. It appears to be the debris of a Federation starship.
Take us out. Ensign Fluffy Paws. Take us out of warp.
Coming out of warp, slowing down, heading towards the debris field nice and slowly.
Yep. Red alert.
Changing the light bulb for the red alert.
Commander Android, scan the debris field.
Aye.
What are you scanning for?
Black box.
You're looking for the black. You're not looking for any survivors.
Scan for any black box, escape pods, shuttlecraft.
Oh, man, there's a toast.
Okay.
What the vessel is.
Okay. Could I have a control plus? What would I? Control plus a security check, please.
Well, I've got a 10 and 4.
10 and 1 for me.
2d20.
2d20, please.
Just a sec. Doesn't know I'm half blind. $19 and 20.
Okay, but well, with the computer assistance, you've managed to get a success. The black box is there. There appear to be no survivors.
Aboard for analysis.
Okay. You have the black box on board.
Commander Android, what is the ship? And any escape pods?
I don't need to roll for that, do I, Zoe?
I've already said there appear to be no survivors.
Yeah, everybody's toast.
What? Do we know what ship it was?
From the debris field, you can see it on the view screen. It is the whatever we called it, the Ganymede, was it?
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah, it appears to be the Ganymede.
Ensign Tabby, send a message to subspace. Send a message to Starfleet Command via subspace. Report we have found the remains of the USS Ganymede. Report no survivors, and we have beamed the black box aboard for analysis. To I can't think of the word now.
I can do this one.
Establish what happened to the ship.
I can do this one. Check this one out. Yeah, so this place is a tomb. Whatever happened here, I think we missed it.
That's aliens.
There's indications of small arms fire. Well, not small arms. It must be pretty big to have blown the vessel apart like that.
No, but small arms would work. So someone shot an air gun at. Oh, Captain Dowd's gone.
Yeah.
Did you send a message, Ensign Tabby?
Message sent.
Thank you. Commander Android, proceed with the analysis of the black box, please.
All right.
Welcome back.
Roll for that, Zoe.
For that, control plus command. Let's go for that instead.
10 and 2.
Okay. 2d20, please.
Right, 13 and 12. So I got a product of 156.
13, 12 plus the one that the computer assists with. So yes, from what you can tell, it appears to have been that the ship was knocked out of warp by a sudden attack. It is phaser fire that has attacked the ship, and it appears to be consistent with the phaser patterns of the ship that we fought around the space station that we encountered in the first episode.
Oh, the one that was on fire?
The one on nuke?
Yeah. No, you didn't nuke the space station.
I mean the ship.
Yes, the ship that you nuked. The phaser type was consistent with that kind of ship.
Okay, suppose the question now is, why were they attacking the Abert class vessel? Is this connected to base?
We'll continue analysis of the black box.
Why don't we go back into warp while we do that, so we make sure to catch up this other vessel, because this is interesting.
Ensign Tabby, resume course, warp 8.
Had we not better go to warp 9? Because we won't catch them up at warp 8. We'll be in the same relation to them.
Well, just give the warp engines a chance to recharge a little. Warp 8 for 10 minutes, then proceed to warp 9.
It sounds like how I cook my dinner, the other way around. Yes, very well. Warp 8, then to warp 9 very shortly.
Fantastic. Meanwhile, back over at the runabout,
remains
Captain Dowd and Commander Dowd and Lieutenant Tapau. What are you guys up to?
Have we arrived anywhere? That's the question.
Yeah, let's say you've arrived.
Probably trying to dissociate themselves from the actions of the ship.
Yeah, we've been working on our CVs en route. What was I going to say? Can we say that while we were updating our CVs, we were also is there like I forget, but is there anything we could be doing for the changeling? Like, is there any sort of radiation it likes, or I don't know, amino proteins that it likes, or like, is there anything, chicken soup for the changeling soul kind of thing, as well as being nice to it and whispering it, sweet nothings and solidarity and that sort of thing. Can we be doing any of that whilst we were driving there?
Yeah.
Well, do whatever you want. I don't want to hear about it. Well, you'll end up for treason.
I think you're already up for that.
Who gave you this number?
New phone. Who dis?
I told you never to call me here. So how about it, Zoe? Could any of that be?
Dr. Bashir was. We mentioned this earlier. I'm not sure if Tapau was here at the time or not, but Dr. Bashir has a theory based on the fact that this virus appears to be using different base genome coding and base chemicals. That he may be able to tag it, and using the transporter remove those infections. It's a very experimental thing, though, whether it'll work.
Yeah, I doubt it would work because it's a changeling. It doesn't have a fixed DNA sequence.
But the virus does.
Sure, it has RNA rather than DNA.
Out of a changeling. I know they did it with Dr. Pulaski and TNG.
They did. They got some of
human.
They got some of the radiation and damage from that baby changeling that Odo and his kind of scientist dad come stepdad come torturer. They managed to get that out, and I'm basically running with that idea.
But didn't baby changeling absorb into Odo, so he got his abilities back?
Yeah, it didn't work. the treatment didn't work, but you never know. It's been a while. They're trying things.
Also, I still don't get how that worked. How that gave him back his powers.
Shove it in a toaster and play some. Play that funky music. I like that.
Sorry, I missed that because my phone rang, unfortunately.
Fair enough. We're talking about how the changeling's virus is using different base genomes to what we would expect from our universe. So the idea is that we could use that as a tag to try and transport the virus out of the changeling as a kind of disinfecting sequence.
Are we ready to attempt it?
I'm willing if you are.
What will happen if it doesn't work? Will it harm the changelings? It'll still have it.
It's wrong.
Okay.
It doesn't work. You're wrong. You all go to jail peacefully, quietly. You'll enjoy it.
Okay. I think if we're ready to, if Dr. Bashir is ready to have a go at this, I think we should. What do you think, T-Dab? Do you think we should try it?
So, if I understand correctly, the worst that can happen is status quo.
Yes.
Okay.
When I was watching the first Ghostbusters film there.
I noticed. Don't worry. If you're trying, if we're going to try this, let's try it. I suggest we go for a insight plus medicine check.
Okay. Insight 10, medicine 4. I'm 14.
Insight is 9 and medicine is 4. So I'm 13.
Do you want us both to have a go at it? And
Yeah.
will you roll for Dr. Bashir?
I already have.
Right, okay.
Is this 20 as well?
I got 2 15s.
Ooh.
Sorry,
It's down
I
to you,
can't get
Captain.
a hold of. I can't get a. This thing, you have to stop doing it. Okay, a 7 and a 1. I keep forgetting that it doesn't stop itself.
Okay.
You have to stop it. 7 and
a
1
one-
is what I
A
roll.
1 counts as 2 successes on its own. So
Oh.
you've got 3. Unfortunately, Tapau didn't get any, but Bashir got 1. So you've got 4 successes. That is more than enough to give this a try. So here we go. Clear.
I thought it was more like up and down with the
It is.
the transporter.
So you try it, you manage to get a lock and beam the virus out. The change thing, however, doesn't seem to change all that much. It looks slightly less dark and gooey than it did,
Okay.
but there's still no. It doesn't look like it's about to pop back into life and start chatting or anything. So at this point, I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm role playing as Bashir here. Sorry, I should have said that. At this point, I'm thinking perhaps we need to give it a little encouragement, or perhaps I've never really understood what they eat,
There was some
the chemicals they need. So all I can say is we've managed to take what appears to be the virus out of it. Perhaps we need to put something back into it.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking too.
Hello, Seth.
into talking.
I mean, we can put it back in its bucket because it may need to just regenerate for a while. Every time 7 of 9 gets a splinter, she has to regenerate for 3 days or something. So maybe it's that, but so maybe it's a case of regenerate. You know what they do? Regenerate? What is it they do in their bucket? What is it?
That you regenerate. Things
Yeah,
regenerate.
regenerate.
Yeah, they just need
Yeah,
to revert
okay.
back to like the gelatinous state. But that,
Yeah, so it's so
Are you
time
sure
maybe.
there's the force field still around it, so it can't do it.
If it's in a gelatinous state, is it not permanently regenerating? Because that's their natural form. They don't really like taking solid shapes. So if we were to leave it, regardless of whether that force field's on it or not, we're actually forcing it into its natural state, are we not? That's one of the things I've been confused at with this.
The
Or are we
containment
actually
field-
wanting it to be there?
the containment field stops it from doing its regeneration thing.
And
Why
I
would
presume
we
it's
think
been,
that?
I presume it's been infected with the virus that was quite severe until recently, and all you've done is take the virus out. It's going to take quite some time to recover all the tissue damage and whatever other kind of effects that the immune system has. While it's recovering, it may be worthwhile putting it in a force field to keep everyone safe from it, because I think those things are still fairly dangerous, I expect.
Is it possible to leave it in the
Leave the
bucket?
force field on and give it some time.
Because surely the force field doesn't need to be around the bucket tightly. I mean, it doesn't need to actually encompass solely the bucket. Could it not be in a corner? Could it not be on the transporter pad? And the would leave it.
Well, enlarge the force field around the specific area that's not limited to the bucket, so it's got plenty of space to change into a humanoid if need be.
I don't think. How tight has this force field been? Because I don't think force fields preclude or prevent it from resting or whatever it is. That was that weird machine that the Cardassians developed to prevent them from using their shapeshifter. We're not using that kind of thing on it.
No.
We're not. We haven't frozen it in any kind of shape. I think it's just been so poorly it hasn't had the energy or the ability to do anything.
The force field just been around the dimensions of the bucket.
Yeah, even at that, surely if it is liquid, that's what it wants to be, isn't it? So perhaps
that's the natural state.
Yeah.
So if it's left in a liquid state now that we've passed it through the filters and we've shocked it or whatever, well, the best thing for it is to remain in a pool because it's happy doing that. Surely now, as has been indicated, leave it alone. Eventually, it'll either try and kill the three of you, or it'll want to talk to you and be friends.
I don't think the Federation is willing to surrender and see what it does.
But I'd like to hear more from Dr. Bashir about because surely he spent the most time with in close quarters with a changeling and probably of all Federation personnel knew the most about them. Could he one born every minute, changeling edition. Does he have anything? Does he have any thoughts or knowledge about what would be the most nutritive or restorative for a changeling beyond sleeping it off?
My best theory at the moment, my working theory, would be that we know the chemicals that compose changeling structures. So perhaps we create a kind of soup of some of those chemicals and give it some of those, and then it can take it if it wants, if it thinks it's necessary, and see what happens from there.
Yeah, chicken soup for the changeling soul.
Could I butt in with this?
What is it? Jewish penicillin is chicken soup?
The healing, or the way that they healed, I can't remember which one it was, which episode, but linking with another changeling seems to have some form of healing property. So, as has been indicated, could we synthesize these enzymes and put them into something that the changeling could link with? Would that be a possibility? I mean,
or at least absorb.
Yeah, so some form of synthetic link could.
Well, in the final episode, Odo did cure the female changeling.
I'm not sure we could create a synthetic link. I think that's beyond our abilities on this runabout.
But some sort of material it could absorb to help the healing process,
like some kind of balm, perhaps, or poultice.
A spray.
Yes.
I need 45 for changelings.
Yes.
Could it be aerosolized? Could it be aerosolized and introduced within the shield, the shielded area?
Yes, that could work. Yes, that sounds like a fantastic idea.
Well, get onto it, would you?
Yeah,
okay, let's do it. Okay.
Well,
yep.
Come on.
Okay.
We can still give Dr. Bashir orders because I seem to have already still a Lieutenant JG.
I think he might have got an extra pip for his work in the Dominion War.
Well, and doctors have rank when it comes to medical matters, don't they?
That is true. So yes, we'll aerosolize the changeling enzymes and fluids and pump some of those into the thing.
The commander to bowl still outranks Dr. Bashir.
Probably, yeah.
Do we need to roll for that, Zoe, or is that just...
I think we can just say that we've managed to do it.
No, I'm all for the shortcut.
Yeah, he does know his way around the thing. Right.
Yeah.
That seems like a good point to like a good cliffhanger to try and end tonight's events on. Is it going to work?
Have we helped it, or are we going to dissolve it by accident?
Yes. So at this point in the story, we may or may not be about to lose some of our key members of staff due to a changeling attack. Meanwhile, the Enigma is flying into a potentially dangerous situation. So, what could happen? Anything could happen. Same bat time, same bat channel next time. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, because this has been quite an evening, hasn't it?
It has, rather. It's not even dinner time yet.
Wow.
It is here.
Yeah, it's 5 to 10 here.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining. It's been a lot of fun to hang out with you again.
Well, thank you for bearing with us, Zoe. I know it can't be easy.
Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I get surprises every week.
I'm sure you do. That you didn't anticipate.
I do
Surprises
enjoy
every 5 minutes.
it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
Have a
Take
lovely
care.
evening. Good night, Melody. Good night, all.
See you later. Bye.
Good night.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And end stream.